this is good news. We can finally be bees. I can't believe it, guys. We have another episode of the VOD today. Isn't that so much fun? Look at that. I grabbed a little beverage from my fridge to have throughout this thing. It's ice cold. I can feel how cold it is on my hands. And I was waiting to sit here with you guys. Are you ready? Woo! Damn! Oh my word. That was too good. Gosh. Oh my word. That was one of those, that was so crispy. That was so crispy and freaking just... It foamed when it opened, and it ended up getting on my shirt, and my... That's fun. Damn. And it couldn't have been a better drink, too, because that was the Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Cherry, and I haven't really had them. So, I think it's like my second time having it. And to, like, open that up, that can, and just get just drenched in it, I don't know. I think I couldn't have asked for a better drink, but goodness, that was a very crispy open, if I had to say so myself. But guys, guess what time it is? Yeah, chili can with a crisp pop. That was whew. It's the kind of pop that gets you going a little bit because you're like, damn, that was super crispy. That was super good. But yeah. It's time for the VOD today. We have a wonderful guest that we'll get to soon, but it's time to go over some housekeeping, and then we'll move on, because this is a 1-hour show, if you guys remember. But yeah, still doing some things in the works. This week was a little very light in the stream, but it's nice to be back and streaming at least 2 times a week doing the VOD, so you can at least count on that, and it's very nice. So, I'm gonna make sure we stick to 1 hour. So, as much as I love talking, it's just that 1 hour tends to work a little better for me and for my guest. If we happen to go a little bit over, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. But I like to just try and keep it around an hour, maybe an hour 15. So, it's a good thing. It's a fun thing. I might have to burp because of that. Goodness, that was like all foam that I had to drink up. Excuse me. So yeah, we got that going. Next week I should have a little bit more streams, I think. Because looking at my calendar, like tomorrow I'm doing a tech rehearsal for a film shoot I gotta go do. And then like next Friday I have a VOD lined up. I only have one person lined up for the VOD next week, and trying to figure that out. But I just know I'll have film shoots like on Wednesday or Thursday. So I may or may not stream then, because next week and the week after I'll be working from 8 to 5. So I won't be able to stream earlier in the day, but I'd love to stream right after work from 6 to 8 p.m. MST, which is 1 hour from now. But in the meantime, we have that little audio drama that I'm making, that I'm doing, and busy work days indeed. So we're a busy little guy. We're a busy little guy. Yeah, there's the hiccups. Wonderful. So with that, we're just making things work, and we're just doing the best we can. So also, in case you guys didn't know, where is it? For those wonderful peeps that are here, go commission Mikey. Just do it, because it's funny and it's cool. How heckin' dare you, sir? Oh, I heckin' dare. I heckin' dare. I was in their stream, just popping by earlier this morning, right before a film shoot, and let me tell you something. It was fun. It was a fun stream. Yeah, get shouted out, nerd. Chat. What do you mean, chat gem? That's not how this works. Thank you. This is my response. This is my response. Wait. Ah, dang it. Hold on. There we go. Respectfully take my love. So, we have the audio drama stuff that's coming up. I can't wait to announce that soon. Like, actually put out the thing for it. Auditions for that will be coming soon, and I'm really excited. That's gonna be so much fun. Not to mention writing my next voiceover showdown, which is going to have a super fun and cool prize reward for those who choose to take part in it. So I highly recommend you guys be on the lookout and you check out for that, because it's so much fun. I might also make an announcement on my server that I am live for now, just because I'm not streaming really as much today. Let's see. There we go. Just that. There we are. So, without further ado, that's all we have on the docket as of right now. Truly best danger scenario I've ever been in. Hell yeah. So, oh, Mikey, I forgot to reach out. I need to reach out to you again. Don't worry, it's not about the commission. It's not about the commission. It's about the storyboard thing. Because I need to finish making storyboards for because they're already done. I've made a storyboard for the voiceover show that I've still been working on. However, they're all on sticky notes. They're on post-it notes. Who summoned me? It was me. I did it. So all the storyboards I hand drew on sticky notes, and they're stick figures. And so I'm like, if anybody wants to help me with it to transfer and make them onto like digital, then that would be pretty cool to help. You're being sneaky and seeing behind the scenes things? Yeah, heck yeah. Excuse me. You know, just for you, Mikey, I can send you some stuff to see what that kind of behind the scenes stuff looks like. But while I do that, I need to do some things. There it is. You're gonna lurk. Have a really nice stream. Thanks, Viv. It's also great to see you here. You too, Tony. You too, Amon. Thank you. You are loved. Oh, such joy. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say. I was gonna say it earlier. I think you said on stream when I popped in, you said Val is in the hoose, and I giggled at that. I forgot to bring that up, but I thought it was adorable. And I say that because later in the stream, you're like, ah, yeah, I just have a lot of people I talk to. And so with my Scottish accent, it doesn't come out as much, but it just depends. And I was thinking like, wait a minute, what did you say earlier? That was like, really just really into your Scottish accent. And I was like, oh, you said who? He said hoose. I just thought that was cute and thought it was funny. Anywho, enough with that. Ooh. People are chatting to me. Hell yeah. It's Zachy! Did I even hear anymore? We love Zachy. Oh, that's it. It's a cute little emote. So, without further ado, I think it's time we get on, and that way I could say this, we have a wonderful guest talking, and then I can also send you that stuff, Mikey, so you can kind of see it, because behind the scenes, thank you, Fo. I appreciate that. Also, our wonderful Phoenicia here. Phoenicia. Hopefully I remember how to say that. One of my wonderful writers, and so currently helping me with that stuff. So if you want to go support them and follow them, they do wonderful streams every Tuesday for that. So I want to see if I can try and stream with them. Unfortunately, I got called in next week, and I'm so pissed off because every time I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stream with you next week. Sounds good. Hey, Slig Havid. Okay, that's great. I wish you had told me. It's like, So I'm trying to find the best way to make it up to them, because I really want to join them for their murder mystery streams, because they're really fun. I've hopped in and just lurked in them. They're just really funny. So we'll get it. Don't sweat. So with that in mind, we'll talk about it. Don't worry. With that in mind, today we'll be welcoming I stabbed the schedule. Okay, please don't stab my schedule. I need that schedule. Today, we'll be welcoming a certain malware program, a cat-obsessed, cat-possessed dual artist and streamer to return Mainecoon, who's dedicated to making all his own stream assets, which is a bold strategy, and we'll see how it plays out. Self-proclaimed yapper of the first degree and chronic, I wouldn't use the word idiot, but self-proclaimed yapper of the first degree and chronic, maybe a silly guy. From games, art, man-crushing, man-crushing. Stellar. Mayhem causing with a good sprinkle of anarchy. Please welcome for today's guest and episode of the VOD, It's chaos with our dearest virus, Nikko Mirai. You look so disinterested right now with the mute status on.
Finally, I can take off my helmet. The
Yes,
fans have been broken in that thing for like a week. Shit.
There you
Anyways. Hello. Hi.
Ah!
Everyone.
Thank you for the follow, Natter. I appreciate that.
Hey, Natter. I was wondering which of my crew was gonna show up first. Of course, it's the pseudo clipper of my streams.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hello, my dearest friend.
Well, welcome.
He's the first of you. I was wondering how long it'd take. Oh, and now there's Salty Duck Preptor. Okay. I apologize for the chaos behavior of my chat. They are pure anarchy, as is their streamer.
Well, sometimes... been here since the start, just waiting for the right moment. Hell yeah. That's what we love.
Of course you are. What did I expect from anyone but you?
Look, sometimes you just have to have, and my streamer mode is not on Discord. Wonderful. Hey chat, I hope you really enjoyed that Discord ping you heard. Wasn't that, it was wonderful. If only Vega was here, because he would make a big funniness out of it. What do you mean get back to your stream? I am there, Mikey. I can look at multiple things.
There's such a thing as multitasking.
Oh, psychologically speaking, it's actually impossible to multitask. Fun fact. But
Okay, nerd.
But the psychologists and the self-help books don't want you to know that, and the self-help like YouTubers and content creators, they don't want you to know that. So, but that's okay. Well, I remember when we spoke last, I was if you take your hand and like put it as high up as where you can, that's not where normally my energy is. But if you take it and put it like all the way down, that's where I was last time we talked, because I just was.
Yeah, you were so out of it.
I was
okay,
so out of it.
I need to bother him like I do my dearest Picado and just go, hey, take a damn power nap. Please, you need it. I think I did end up saying that by the end of the stream. Well, if not stream, call.
Mm-hmm.
It was the streaming that my brain goes, oh yeah, stream. No stream. No stream brain.
It do be like that sometimes. But to be fair, sometimes people just end up busy, or they end up having like, you know, things pop up, so to speak.
Some energy int. I'm always high energy by default. That's just how my personality works, even when I am dead exhausted.
I realized I got some... That Dr. Pepper was so crispy that it didn't realize some of it got on my keyboard.
No!
Dang. That was so crispy it got on my keyboard, and I have a white keyboard too.
Oh no.
Oh, we're okay.
Luckily for the shirt stuff, you're a VTuber and not a face cam streamer.
Well, I mean, this is zero sugar. Like, for the most part, it doesn't have much food coloring, it doesn't have much anything, so it's just like, has ever so slight coloring to it, but if you pour it on something, it's not gonna like stain as aggressively.
Yeah, that's good at least.
So, but man, it tastes like carbonated cough syrup. Isn't that a fun sentence to say?
In the good way or the bad way?
Take that however you will.
Oh, and Natter is continuing to assault you.
Well, Chad does that on a fairly regular basis, so however they like to go about participating, it is up to them. But regardless, I think it's time for me to ask my first, and in my opinion, my most important question, that is, Nikko, who are you, and what is your story?
Oh boy, the story stuff is gonna be a lot of anarchy, but for the quick overview, I am Nikko Mirai. .exe. I am a currently on hiatus streamer who is working on his 2.0 assets, which is a mistake, mildly so. When I was streaming, I streamed basically everything I could get my little paws on. So whether that be FPS games that didn't ruin my computer, Slime Rancher, Slime Rancher, honestly, art, sometimes Genshin or Zenless when I was still a fan of Hoyoverse games. That's the general streaming shenanigans. I am a lot more often seen on my friends' streams nowadays, simply because I don't have the energy or the current models and stuff to currently stream on my own account. I am a shamelessly homosexual, transmask streamer of debatable chaos origins. Shit, I forgot about the story stuff.
Well, so who is Nikko behind the model as well? Because I feel like that's also an important thing to mention.
Ah, yes. The slave creature behind the model is a currently living in Canada dumbass. 2 brain cells that barely function. That is the vibe. That is the chaos, and that is where the chaos comes from.
Well, I'm sure there's moments where the chaos subsides and moments of clarity happen. Maybe not often, according to you in our conversations, but perhaps they happen.
Very rarely. The only time I am on high energy is when I legit am very pissed off about something. Like, say my computer has been fighting me over playing Battlefield 2042 for the last hour, and I can't figure out why it hates me.
You know, it do be like that sometimes, because computers just always like to be finicky. But, you know, I feel
yeah,
it. I
have a gaming laptop.
Gaming laptops can sometimes be nice. Because personally, like, once I graduate college, once I graduate university in December, I'm hoping by then I can get either a MacBook or I can get a gaming laptop, so to speak. And I'm hoping to take another month-long trip to Japan and just travel around Japan, just wherever I can go every single day, a new place, and just do photography just to have fun. You know, respect the culture, be quiet, basically. Do you know anything about the Boy Scouts of America?
Not off the top of my head, other than I know the Girl Scout stuff because I adored the cookies.
I don't think I've ever had a Girl Scout cookie in my life.
Oh my god, are you being serious?
I am being serious.
Get yourself some of the cursed peanut butter cookies, given you do not have a nut allergy. They are so good. And the Thin Mints are also pretty decent, but I just don't like mint.
I think mint chocolate is an acquired taste, but you have to be in a mood for it.
Yeah, my ma is super big on mint chocolate, and I, as her goofy little child, am just like, bleh.
Yeah. But the reason why I brought up the Boy Scouts of America, at least now it's just called Scouting, you know, but now it's just called Scouting. But back in the day when it was called the Boy Scouts of America, you know, I did that a lot, and especially my father, who worked as, back in the late 70s, worked as a forest firefighter. And I learned a lot about nature and learned a lot about respecting just wherever you go. And just that the time I want to spend in Japan, just adopting the entire philosophy that one of the biggest philosophies about Boy Scouting and just conservationism is leave no trace and leave where you go better than when you found it. But especially the first part, leave no trace, which is like, don't just respect wherever you go, and whatever you do, make it so that you have an attitude of awareness of whatever you're doing. Because it's just respecting who's around you, who's around you, what's around you, and just how you can reduce your impact on just your environment. Because at the end of the day, you want to be respectful. So, your tail being cut off is making it look weird. I see.
It does kind of look weird.
It does, however.
I'm missing part of my tail.
It just hasn't loaded.
It hasn't loaded. We're having a few glitches. Don't worry about that.
Exactly. It just hasn't loaded. So
it comes with being an Android.
Something like that. We have a few androids, robots, you know, things to that degree in our in my server. So scissors clipped. Oh no. But yeah. So.
Oh no.
Oh my word. Thank you, Viv, for those Dr. Peppers. So yeah. Assault indeed. So. I want to say when I started about 2 years ago in 2023, and about in 2024, I think I saw like your account back then, at least on Twitter. Is true. Were you on Twitter back then?
I believe
Nikko.
So. I am pretty sure I was, but I think I was just getting started on streaming and had my oldest VTuber model, which, oh god, that thing is horrible now that I look at it, but it was a start. So I have to save it for the sake of documentation.
I mean, to be fair, we all have to start somewhere. You should see my very first V-Roid model, which he was a goofy little guy. I'll say that.
Goofy little creature.
He was a goofy little guy. Like I love him. He's a great guy. However, it's just one of those things where once you're able to finally kind of upgrade a little bit, then that's when it gets nice. But you have to appreciate what you have in the moment, or else you can't come to love what comes after. So
yeah, with my 1- models, which is what I call all of the models before I got to this design, a lot of them were very debatable quality, but I did like a lot of them when I had first made them. Now that I've settled on a design that doesn't make my eyes bleed when I try to draw it, because it's so brightly colored. Don't get me wrong, he is still brightly colored, but you know. Now that I've settled onto a new design, I'm officially calling this 2.0. The rest were, I think, 1.0 to 1.5. 1.5 is the most recent PNG tuber I have, excluding this Fuji, of course.
Yeah. So, and you've been making... You've talked about how you're an artist, and you're wanting to make every single stream asset yourself.
Yeah.
Is that out of, say, financial reason, or is that because you want to prove a point?
Both. It originally started because I am a broke little creature who only has like $40 in my account right now, and that is because I've been trying to stubbornly save up for something.
And
but,
are you at liberty to say what that something is?
I was originally going to get a new microphone, but I might redirect the funds elsewhere because I figured out a way to make my current one a lot more stable in the weird little slot I've put it. So I'll see where I end up redirecting those funds. It's currently in a unknown position. They're just in my savings.
And it sounds at least to me it sounds fine right now. So
yeah, but it originally started because I was way too broke to buy any of the like I didn't really like the idea of starting with a pre-made model because my system at the time, which was that at least stood up to Genshin. God, if Natter, you remember this, I had the worst PowerPoint show presentation Genshin streams before. Natter can attest to this. They were there.
It's not even PowerPoint. PowerPoint implies that you were using an application. It was a Google Slides. It was a Google Slides thing. Meaning you're having to use that over Wi-Fi.
It was so bad. But as I've gotten my gaming laptop, I've been wanting to test out some more advanced models, and because of the price of VTuber models, like rigged and that stuff, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna crack my knuckles and make this myself. Especially because I am someone who likes a lot of stuff, like getting stuff done. I like being busy. I like constantly having things to do, so especially with like making a bunch of VTuber related stuff like emotes, panels, the model itself, rigging it, that kind of stuff. It keeps me very busy.
Just
my brain
be
is
wary.
not like idle.
Just be wary. Sometimes busyness, if you're doing busy stuff nonstop, sometimes it's not exactly the healthiest. I should know. I did that. I got very sick. And I pushed myself far harder than I should have, and it only made me sicker. And it wasn't until the project was finally done that and this was after a month of being sick with COVID, of just terrible COVID. And after finally being done with it, the project, I finally decided to go to the doctor because I finally made the time for it. And that was when I got the antibiotics that I needed. I should have gotten when like a week into it.
Bro.
So, as I say this, just remember to take periodic breaks and not to stress, do too much work.
I work with the ebb and flow of my motivation because I sometimes have a lot of motivation some weeks, and other weeks I'm just like, I don't want to do, which is always how my brain is. My art, I'll have like 2-3 weeks of super high motivation, and then I'll have a temporary crash because, you know, my brain goes art, make art. So due to how my brain works, I'm luckily unable to get like physically sick or ignore that type of stuff, especially because I have my dearest Mama Mirai. Shout out to Mama Mirai. Who also takes care of me a bit because I still live with her. So I'm in charge of most things, including like dinner
Yeah.
I help with the dishes, of course, because as a good child should, I help around the house.
Yeah.
So it's unlikely for me to get that physically sick, but the thing is, don't get the power of shield. Natter. Okay, sorry. I'll explain the joke in a minute.
Go for, you good? Are you okay?
Sorry.
Take your time. But not too much time because we have 30 minutes left.
Oh no. Okay.
Meow.
Okay. Oh yeah, meowware is what I'm called. Meowware is a mix of, cat and malware. I forget which of my viewers came up with it, but it's whatever. Natter, you're gonna kill me, I swear to God. Okay, quick explanation for that joke. Since I started playing Battlefront 2042, I've been mostly playing Dozer, who you can hit with his shield. Battlefield. Sorry, I keep getting...
No, you're fine.
I used to be a Blood Blockade Battlefront fan, so I keep getting them brain work, please.
If you want...
and I've always played Dozer,
Uh-huh.
so I figured out you can hit people with his shield, and Natter has mild trauma from hearing the phrase, "Hey, buddy!"
Look, all I gotta say is, Mikey here is a cyber snow leopard. So,
oh, I used to be a leopard, then I gave it up for Mainecoon.
Just, don't infect Mikey with the virus.
I'll do my best. Just don't put any suspicious USBs into USB ports, okay?
Noted. Wait, hold on. Where is it? I think it's a...
Oh, boy.
There it is. There we are. Anyway, that is I can't believe I misspelled that. When you cease to be able to have headlight function, Mikey, we shall move on from that. Hey, buddy, proceeds to give you head trauma. Why did I had to permit the term "give you head"? Twitch, thank you. You are an abysmal abomination that really shouldn't exist.
So there's gonna be like a straight, 30-second clip of me fucking dying.
Something like that. You need a Windows upgrade? Mikey's running on Windows 95. Anywho, moving past the it's Valentine added permitted term "give you head." Thank you. Thank you, Twitch. You are so good, bestie. Breathe. We don't want you to die. I'm running on spite and fumes.
That's just how I laugh.
Honestly, real. So, as you're making all of your own art, you're making all this kind of stuff. Explain to me how you plan to, what all you want to do, what all you want to accomplish, because there's a lot of people who try and make their own art, and some of them suffer, some of them do well. But, hearing somebody who can do that, I think it'd be interesting to hear how you can do that.
If you're asking me, the kind of, what the plan is, more or less, I just want to make my own stream assets so I can stream. Because, as mentioned, I am very broke.
9 times out of 10, you ask somebody in my server. 9 times out of 10, you ask somebody in my server, they'll probably be like, "I'll do it for free." That's because they're really kind of nice.
Yeah, but I'm also someone who has a lot of... I can't think of the term, but I have a lot of pride in doing everything myself. Literally, the only credits on my Twitch account under the credits section is for the person who made my intro and outro music. And that was for free, because they were doing a little, "Hey, like this tweet if you want to get a free soundtrack based on a free little, song bite based on the vibe of your account." I was like, "Oh, okay, boop." And I had asked them if it'd be able to use it for my streams. They're like, "Okay, just credit me." So it's literally just basically everything, yours truly, and then plus ending music made by Raindrop on Twitter. I am legit still surprised I'm making all my assets myself.
Well, the saying goes that necessity is the mother of invention. So
Yeah.
it happens, you know. In that case, like if you don't have the funds to do it, you just kind of make it yourself. It's like when I was wanting to get more experience in voiceover, I was like, I just need to do my own projects and just give myself the experience. This was like years ago. That's what I ended up doing. So sometimes you just have to just do it yourself.
Unable to afford it? Learn how to do it. Simple as that, at least of art. Because I've been doing art since about 2020, I'd say, which is honestly surprising to myself as I say it now, considering the quality I can make.
Oh, there you go.
And because of when I had started, sorry, my throat is killing me for obvious reasons.
Take a sip of water. You got this.
I immediately lost track of where I was. Okay, heck. This is normal for me. I get halfway.
You started doing art about 2020, and improving and all that.
Because of how late compared to like when I started doing stuff, I got into art. It meant that I was actually able to learn to make like pretty quality stuff in a wide variety of items pretty fast. Like they're not the best quality. That kind of comes with being a jack of all trades. But I'm someone who is very dedicated to that stuff. Like, I think my VTuber model art currently has, like, a week's worth of time put on it, and that's just in actually, like, recorded hours in Procreate. That doesn't count, like, the 30 or so emotes I've been working on, the panels I plan to quickly redo. It's actually that hard for the design I make. And then the rigging shouldn't actually be... I have rigged a model before. I have stolen one of my friends' PDFs to work on it as a practice first. So I'm just someone who likes learning a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time. Also, I noticed Natter mentioned earlier that he was asking about haven't I been working on my version 2 for like a year. I think I've been talking about working on it for a while, but halfway I made the original art for the model. For the old design of the model first, and then I proceeded to go, okay, my eyes hurt looking at this. Also, I look like a Nintendo Switch. So I proceeded to go in for redesigns, and I went through a few versions of that real quick.
Yeah.
If you want to ask anyone specific about how that went, ask Froth or Rhinetheo. They know. They were my main two people I went, hey, does this look any good? to Switch 2 now. Yeah, I'm now the Switch 2. Dang the Switch 2. Not my fault. I'm just trying to look like chromatic aberration, man.
Do you know where exactly, if you have the ability to just, would you rather be a 2D or a 3D at that point?
I would probably overall prefer 2D because of the space I live in. It's a very cramped bedroom, which is good because there's not much echo in this room. I also don't have windows, but it's very bad because I can't really like set up anything for without worrying about knocking. And when it comes to like 3D face only tracking models, I just not the biggest fan of how they look. Plus 3D modeling is something I am not the best at. You can ask another one of my friends who tried to teach me Blender. That went debatably. And also, I just have a lot more natural skill with 2D art. Like, my brain is used to naturally warping perspectives, messing around with proportions. Heck, that's how I got to the chibi-esque style that my current Fuji uses. Yes, it is Lux. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's as much as my brain can yappeth at the original question there. I kind of got sidetracked like twice.
No, that's okay.
This is how my streams work too.
No, that's okay.
I start yapping.
The time goes by very quickly when you start yapping like that. Just anybody in general.
Oh boy. It feels like it's only been 5 minutes. Unironically, me waiting to unmute because I was just like, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out.
We've been speaking for about 25 minutes now, so almost 30 minutes. And we have about 20 minutes left before we get into the final questions. So, you know, that's Yeah, exactly. That's when you boil it down to an hour, it means you just want to get as much information out there as you can. Just talk about yourself. Because prior with those 2 hours that I did before, it's like, okay, how do we fill 2 hours? Whereas I find you get a better reaction out of somebody who say, hey, we got 20 minutes left. They're like, we got 20 minutes left? Oh dear, where did the time go? Whereas, hey, we have an hour left. It's like, okay, all right, let's do this. So,
I mean, I will say my average stream length was 2 to 3 hours. I am used to yapping that much. At normal convo of Nico, you ask a question, then not even a minute later, they could either talking about the same thing or 5 hours straight or change topics 75 times. Welcome to that tism.
For those that know me, they know that I stream 2 hours. 2 hours is my normal amount I like to stream for. So, at that point, then we just kind of cutting it back. It just makes it so you want to get like all that information out, but also like you're trying to respect the time. So with that said, I think what we could probably talk about is what does an average stream look like for Nikko? Because the thing is, if you've been working on your model stuff, and I think you told me that you haven't streamed for like the past month because you've just been working on school and you've been working on art stuff. So, you know, once you return, how do you want to go about doing that? How do you want to get back into that?
I run my streams in a very particular way because I like being on time. If I'm even 5 minutes late, my brain starts panicking. I'm someone who, the way I do my streams is I get started with setup 30 minutes before. I usually stream at 5:30 to about 7. Well, not 5:30, 5 to 7. I usually get to my desk and get OBS open at about 4:30ish, and I usually have... I need to feel myself before I yap for 2 hours straight.
Exactly.
And I usually and once I start upstream, I give myself like 5 or so minutes. So Natter can also attest to this because he's always been there for some reason. You are literally the most regular I have currently, dude. I usually start my streams officially start them 5 minutes after I hit the go live button. So 5 minutes of my starting soon screen so that I can iron out any other issues, like say my model isn't rendering right, or something in the audio isn't going right, or suddenly I'm having a frame drop and I need to figure out why. I run it very particularly like that, and then I will sometimes end a bit early, but it depends on how much energy I have every day. Because as someone who has a decent amount of mental health issues, yay, brain, barely functions, I have a lot of energy levels. So sometimes I'll stream the full 2-3 hours. 3 hours usually is saved for my one weekend stream. But sometimes I'll start like 30 minutes early. Sometimes if I'm feeling dead exhausted, I'll end early. But I usually hit that 2-hour mark. I've gone over it a few times on accident, actually. There's been a few times where I check the clock and I'm like, what do you mean it's 7:15?
I find that happens a lot with my Minecraft streams, where I just enjoy it. I'm having so much fun playing it, and I'm yapping. I just smacked my mic. Wonderful. And I'm just yapping and having fun, and all of a sudden I look at the clock. I'm like, oh, we got 20 minutes left before I got to end stream. That sucks. I'm like, maybe 30 more minutes.
30 more minutes.
And then what starts out as a 2-hour stream becomes like a 3 or 4 hour stream, which I don't normally like to do.
Yeah, because I'm someone who always just rolls on. Like, if you haven't been able to tell, I have been yapping a lot. I am as said, self-proclaimed yapper. That's just how my brain works. You give me a topic, I'll start talking about it, then my brain will have like 3 different side notes, and then I'll keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and then suddenly it is 7, and I'm like, oh, time to end stream, and then I'll probably go yapping in my Discord server, honestly. That's just how it goes.
Or you're yapping in my Discord server. Both of which I'm fine with. Look, there's just
I literally have a channel in my Discord server that's just called Talk with the Malware. That is 90% just me yapping into the void.
And that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta yap freely. So I feel it. I understand that completely. And I've been trying to make a much better effort at talking in my server. And I've, like, the days that I haven't been streaming, I typically try and spend just in a VC in my server. And honestly, I feel like that does a really good job just making up a little bit of the difference. So, Sword, my buddy.
Sword and bird.
Sword and bird.
Also, Natter was talking about my last stream being about Slime Rancher, and don't mind the mention of the Horde. The Horde was just a mass of phosphor slimes that I just kept, and they kept escaping. So they eventually just got called the Horde because they were always hungry, always annoyed, and they just kept escaping. Every time I logged on, at least 3 of them were escaping. I don't know why they keep doing it, but they were always escaping. Also, my entire Slime Rancher farm was just tabby mixes. Very in character.
I've never played Slime Rancher, but
they're very cute.
I'd imagine they're cute. I think I've seen like a couple minutes of gameplay, and I think I just saw a person like sucking up the slimes with like a vacuum gun and then shooting them out somewhere, or something like that.
If you want like 100 hours of gameplay, just go over to my VODs channel. Woo!
Did you just plug your VODs channel here? On the VOD?
Baby.
There's no better place to do that then. Very comfy game to unwind to. I'd be inclined to believe you. I've been playing a lot of Hollow.
I have like 130 hours right now, and I'll play it on again. Anyways, say what you were gonna. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been playing a lot of Hollow Cure recently. I don't know why, but just that running around and just not having to pay attention to a lot of things, but just kill things, is just like it's oddly cathartic, to say the least. So now you have another horde, if I remember, but half of said horde is just clones that fly up on top the rocks and sit there.
Quantum slimes in the game are able to have a holograph version of them, and if you then they can teleport out. And because they were all tabby mixes, they had a lot of range, and they should have. So they kept going onto this one cliff that was very close to the little container I had them in. So they kept trying to escape that way, which was delightful. I literally have a clip of that where I'm just going, "What the hell are you doing, buddy?" I never got an answer for what the hell he was doing.
Maybe you never will. But with that,
I don't think I will.
I think we should move to our last little thing here that caught my attention as, what the heck do you mean by man crushing in your intro?
I could not find a better way to say being a raging, shameless homosexual on stream, because I don't play a lot of games that would have me going, yeah, that guy's hot, I would. But if you are in my server, you will see sometimes I just go feral for some men. Like,
thank you, Mikey.
Recently, it's been the Call of Duty for 3, so it's just been a lot of that thing. Yeah, I don't care if he's beat up to hell. Would.
Crushing over men.
I couldn't find a better way to say it that wouldn't either seem like I'm making gay my whole personality or just utterly a bit too much.
I'm a simple creature, leave me be. Look, I don't know what to tell you. I just find it funny. There you go.
Hey, Natter just actually sent me the clip of it. Oh. Yeah, Natter is my unofficial clip for my streams. So when I forget to do it, they usually at least get a stream, and they clipped, and a lot of the clips I have shared on my Blue Sky when I remember that have been from him. So he just sent the main 2 about the secondary horde to me. It's just yes, shenanigans.
Sounds funny. Question: do you watch anime? Do you watch TV, any shows like that?
I watch anime once in a while. Honestly, I'll be fully honest. I've only really watched Trigun and Blood Blockade.
Yo, Trigun is good though.
Yeah, I love Yashiro Nighto's work. Despite the fact that the Trigun manga I have is thick. I can't take that thing with me anywhere to read it, but I still have it because
you can. You can. It just requires a little bit of effort.
It's just awkward because my purse is too small for it, but my backpack is too big to bring with me in public.
Too
And
big
any
to
other
bring with
person-
you.
I just don't like bringing a backpack around.
And thank you for the hydrate, Slurpa. It's good to see you, buddy. It's been a little bit. Gotta get ripped, carry, and retry gun. Exactly. What if you want to carry all of, like, 4 or 6 jumbo volumes of freaking Helsing? I'm just saying. Maybe you want to get the 10 plus, like, big boy volumes of Berserk. That's how you do it. I'm just saying.
I will say the shelf I have in my room is mostly manga. Well, technically, Heartstopper is just a visual. I was about to say visual novel. Crap, what's it called again?
Mods, if you're here,
Graphic
mods,
novel.
could you clip there? Could you pin that comment right there? Clip Slurpas. You can read a good story and kill someone at the same time. I just want that to be pinned.
Bonk. Self-defense. Bonk.
Thank you, mods. Thank you, Vega. We love Vega in this household. But yeah, I mean that's good to hear. Like that you'll like to do that. The reason why I ask is like, if that's the case, do you have a fictional crush?
I have like 5 of them.
Oh, do tell, do tell.
Well, I guess the main way to kind of group them is currently it's mostly the Modern Warfare 3 cast.
Oh my
So
word. Like hold on, OG Modern Warfare 3 or current Modern Warfare 3?
The current one. I only know that because the version of Soap that I like is the non-captain one, and it's also the version of because one of my non-VTubing friends plays it, and I want to play it with him, but oh my god, why is it 90 Canadian bucks, you know?
I can't tell you that. The economy is whack, and game companies think that the average consumer has to
Can
pay that.
much.
Yup. But what about inflation? He cries. Games were 160 in the 90s. Yeah, okay, that was then.
Yeah,
this
let's
is
go.
now. That was then. This is now. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, people who like I'm willing to pay $70, but the moment you bump it up to 80, 90, or $100, I'm like, no, $60, 60 to 70 bucks, I'm willing to pay. You know, I'd rather pay like 40 for a game, but it's like, you know, that's after waiting like a year.
My maximum is like 60 because I will usually get something on sale, as said, boy behavior. Like, I think actually Modern Warfare 3 is on sale for like, what was it? I think it's currently on sale for like 45. Even my Steam will let me do anything.
I can read that in Vega's voice right now. I got a firm handshake and a nickel for your game. Exactly, I would say that. I don't know why. For whatever reason, you struck me as like a Sebastian Michaelis Black Butler enjoyer. I don't know why. But point being, with all of this is, I just find it interesting how unabashedly, like, as you say, homosexual you are.
Listen, it's gonna be obvious if I ever do start playing games where there is actual, like, okay. Once again, anyone who has seen my Zenless Zone Zero stream, you know how feral I was for Lycon.
Who's that?
You know how feral I was for Risley. You know how just generally feral I am, guys. Like...
I thought that was the for what? Why does he have like a freaking? Does he have a muzzle? What the heck does? Why?
Don't hit me with the I know what you are. Listen.
Hold on, Mikey. I know the exact emote that demands a response. Like as you said, where is it? Where is it? I have it right here. Come on,
I feel
let me
like
type
I'm
this
defending
out.
myself again. The Wolfman, no. No.
There it is.
I'm just a little guy.
Clearly, you're just a little guy.
Little guy, I'm innocent. I don't know what you're on about.
The wolf. Look, the thing is, I have not played Zenless. I don't think I'll play Zenless. I'm gonna leave it at that. Zenless is a game of all time. So one of my buddies plays it a lot, and he likes it, and I'm so glad he does. He lost an eye, leave him alone, Val. Who lost an eye? Wolfman? Furry man? Man furry?
Yeah, leave Lycon alone. But yeah, I'd also say the only character of, I don't know exactly which game, but I really like Konik. I have a funny story relating to that, Chaos, but we're already running low on time, and I'm sure you have more Yapathon questions.
The last questions I have are the 10 questions that we went over. That we're gonna be doing. That's a lick emote? There we go. I didn't realize that was a lick. I thought it was like a meow or something. I didn't realize it was a lick. Has animal... ZZZ has animals with physics in strange places.
Listen. I'm surprised you didn't ask anything related to the trans VTuber stuff, because we had mentioned that in the call.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have about 4 minutes. You can if you'd like. You just seemed more focused on calling yourself unabashedly gay. So, like...
I mean, that is the main note. Like,
so,
that's the main thing you'll notice if when I'm actually streaming. I don't make many jokes about, you know, trans mask menace. But it is obvious if you do actually get a look at my VTuber model without, like, at least the shirt. Because the way I have his tattoos set up are actually meant to be a... they're very inspired by a lot of top surgery scar cover-ups that I've seen when I've accidentally gone through Pinterest randomly.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. I was doing it for a different character, but I was like, oh, hey, that's kind of neat, and I've been meaning to add more tattoos to this menace.
So, I guess because right now, it's, as sad as it is to say, just, you know, being transgender and content creation has been a little rough as of recently, especially in VTubing, I've noticed. And, you know, hopefully you're experiencing with it some form of affirmation in just your identity. Because I know for a lot of people who've been on the VOD or just people I've interacted with who, you know, are trans individuals, they find a lot of comfort in having this representation of their VTuber being an extension of who they are. So.
Yeah, that's one of the really nice things about VTubing is that, this is, Natter would also probably know this. IRL, I am a very chunky guy. I don't mind it very much, but I am hefty. It's just a genetic thing here. Mom's hefty, I'm hefty. I'm just happy I didn't get her chest, honestly. Girlie has triple D's. I have, like, B. She has so much back pain.
My word.
Yeah, Girlie is suffering. But,
What is it? I wish I had serotonin instead of these giant boobs.
My mom is just, I wish I didn't have back pain instead of these giant boobs. Like, Girlie is suffering. I'm happy I didn't get that from, dear God. But, it is very nice to be able to do VTubing because I'm also not, like, very conventionally good looking in any form. Funny enough, the only part of myself I'm genuinely insecure of is my lower face. Like, everything else I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't care that much, but when I look at my lower face, I'm like, oh, what the hell is that? Because I have a permanent frown, as I like to put it. Like, I have the most resting bitch face known to man.
Oh, my word, Genevieve!
Oh shit, raid!
Jen, you didn't need to raid me. What's going on? Because we're gonna be wrapping up actually soon. We're gonna be wrapping up soon, so you didn't need to do that. Hold on. I can't look how many wonderful people there are. For those who are here that don't know, Genevieve right here was our return guest to the VOD. After we had a long hiatus from the VOD for the past couple months, and Jen so graciously graced us with her presence and revealing model stuff and just talking about all of that about a couple weeks ago. So, you know, also just one of the first people. Well, one of the original people on the VOD, like over a year ago. So, highly encourage you to go follow her. She does great work. Not to mention, I believe she also is starting up a VTuber group recently, so consider checking that out. But thank you so much, Jen, for rating in. We really appreciate that. Hopefully your stream went well. My name is Val. I'm the host of this VTuber talk show, The VOD, and we have our guest Nikko here. So yeah,
Speaking of model, nudge nudge.
Nudge. I see.
Nudge nudge aggressively.
I didn't know if you wanted me to like
even.
Rubik's Gaming, the Rubik's Gaming 2018 as opposed to 2017 or 2019. I can't believe it. You don't have to follow me. Thank you, friend.
Assault him! Assault him! Get
So
him!
how would you like me to display it? How do you want me to talk, or if you just want like a moment to talk? Okay, enough with the throwing. All right. This is why we can't have nice things.
God, this reminds me of when I accidentally put my friend onto a loop of pizza time for like 5 hours during his subathon.
Wonderful. Speaking of groups, yeah, we're speaking of your group, silly.
Speaking of your group.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I'm not too sure about showing it, because I will say I could yap for a straight 30 minutes about how I designed that creature. But, like,
Yippee.
I'm not sure how to shorten it down enough to not accidentally go super far into.
Yeah, it is a cool little design. It is I imagine that's the reference you're wanting to make for yourself. Also, raiders, if you need to raid and run, feel free to do that. Especially for you, Jen. I know it's late for you, so it is probably very late. What I think you're 7 hours ahead of me, so it is probably about 5 or not 5. Oh my word, why I say 5? It's probably about 1 in the morning for you right now. So, or 3 in the morning. So, something like that. So yeah, you feel free to dip. Feel free to. Okay, I was right with 1 a.m. Feel free to dip, to go eat, drink, be merry, relax, have fun. Is indeed one for UK dwellers. Yeah, UK peeps, I love you, but also go to sleep. I understand it's the weekend, but still.
Oh, I think that's actually similar for one of my friends who's right now. You know, I should check in on him. Is he still alive? No, he's offline. Good. He went
Phoenix,
to bed.
no. Phoenix, no. Get sleep. I get terrible sleep. So.
I sleep at 1 a.m.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't. What is it? It's 6 p.m. Maybe I shouldn't have been drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Whatever.
You have work in 6.5 hours? Oh my. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in and raiding. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it, and I'm so happy because it means more people get to check out our guest today. If you just ignore it, your body will sleep what it needs.
Please.
That's not how that works, Vega. You can't just do that. So, but yeah. So, would you like me to show the image you sent?
Yeah, that's the teaser I've used on my Blue Sky and for my Discord as well.
All right. It is.
So that's already to the public. It has been released.
Yeah. So if you just want to take a moment to mention that, and just because there is right there.
Well, I will say one of the most chaotic things about said model is the fact that he was originally meant to have boots. Like he was not originally meant to be paws out, but my brain
you got
eventually...
the grippers out.
Yeah, my brain eventually went, okay, I do not want to figure out how to draw shoes over these. So I eventually just went, screw it, whatever. He's also meant to have a helmet, but I have been trying to figure out how to rig that, how I'd need to split it for rigging. Also, in the mention of 3D glasses, it is meant to... The design's colors are based around chromatic aberration, because the way I design characters is I have usually 1 black, 1 or 2 white tones, depending... that depends on if the character's main palette is dark or white. Right. And then, oh... it looks like I'm being assaulted with Dr. Pepper now.
Good.
No! I'm just a little guy. But, it's based around chromatic aberration. I was originally only red and blue, that's where a lot of the Nintendo Switch comparisons came from, and I kept wanting to add in yellow, I just could not get a way to make it look good with my older model, but since I've added a lot more black into the design now, because I put a lot more black and white and generally neutral tones into the design now.
Yeah.
Like, see the silver, the white being 90% black. That's actually why my Fuji here lacks his jacket, because if I did, it would be actually a mild nightmare to differentiate everything.
Yeah, and for those that for those that don't know, chromatic aberration is when light doesn't converge. All the wavelengths of light don't converge entirely on the same focal point. Instead, it aberrates. It spreads out, and so it gets this sort of phasey, like split look, as you can see in like old movies that want to utilize the. No, chromatic aberration is the name of my rock band. It's an ABBA cover band, but it's called a chromatic aberration instead of aberration. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so it's also often used with glitches, and if you can't tell by the error pop-ups, because of the fact I'm based around malware, I thought that would fit really nicely, along with, it's a lot harder to see, especially because on the Fuji it's very small, and on the full model it's partially blacked out because of the on top. The heart choker charm I have actually has a block in it, which, I don't exactly remember where that super came from. Honestly, the choker was originally a dice roll. I do not know where the dice came from on the model. But I honestly kind of like the locked thing because, yes, malware. Totally locked. Totally. There's totally not something in the system here.
We love bricking up the PC.
Yeah, which is also why a lot of the accent colors, like, you know, a lot of the brightest colors, now that I look at the design, actually come from what would be considered, like, the glitchy parts. Like, for example, the demon tail pattern that you can see on my Fuji here, that wasn't part of the original, Android that was taken over. Same goes with the horns. Technically, you could phase through the horns if you poked at them enough. They are technically just massive glitches. The entire vibe of this is just, this thing is not entirely right. It's mildly corrupted, also why the mouth is blue. Like, the mouth is blue because it looks wrong in almost any other case.
Well,
this is just a lot of anarchy. Design chaos.
I wouldn't say... Well, at that point, that's not... Because if the chaos is designed, that's not chaos. At that point, that's, if I remember, entropy is, I think, the better word for that. Where order emerges from chaos. Do you know what entropy means?
Oh, Google.
So entropy. So entropy is a term within physics. It's a scientific concept associated within states of disorder, randomness, and uncertainty, but the idea is that from disorder comes order. And a perfect example of this is actually like a distribution. Like if you look at a distribution chart of like a bell curve. Thank you, Vega. But if you look at like a bell curve, for instance, or you drop like 100 balls into like a slots that fall down like a pachinko thing, 9 times out of 10 they will, while all of it is completely uncalculated, unplanned, it's all random, order emerges from that to create even like distributions. So there's still chaos, but from the chaos there is order and planning. Or not planning, but just order and systems. It's a fascinating idea and concept. So at least that's what I imagine about your whole entire thing, is that I wouldn't say it's 100% chaos. I'd simply say it's a more case of scientific entropy, where there's a lot of chaos, but it somehow manages to form into something that resembles a structure, but it's still chaotic in nature, like a double pendulum. That's another example of entropy. So
that curse thing.
Oh, the Dr. Peppers kill you? Wait until it kills me. You ready? Watch this, and then we'll move on to our last 10 questions.
Touch the floof. Tail is very floof.
There we are.
Also, I will have a small random note. The design is based on a Mainecoon. If you can't tell by all ears and the aggressive amount of fluffage.
Dear Lord, indeed. Oh yeah, I used to have a Mainecoon. He was a cute little guy.
Yeah,
very fluffy. His brother was a short hair tabby.
The funny thing with the whole cat virus thing, I'll swear I'll stop yapping after this, is it came from the fact that I am very cat-like in personality by default. Like, I got that type of autism that makes me be like a cat in a human body. Like,
I am not gonna
that's
lie.
kind of a note.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not think you were going to say cat-like. I thought whatever reason you were gonna say Catholic. And I was like,
no, God, no. Well, I guess not God, no, but...
The design is very Catholic, and I'm like, alright, I'm interested to see where this goes.
No.
The Catholic autism. No, you can't. I don't think you can say that. I got the Catholic autism. What does that mean? It means I can tell you what every pope is dating back to Paul. Anyway.
Oh, God. This
or was
is
it Peter? Who was
No.
the first? We do know. Well, sort of, kind of. Who's... Okay, it was Peter. So it is speculated that Peter, the Peter of the Apostles, of the 12 Apostles, was speculated to be the first pope of the Catholic Church. However, it's
I'll just take your word for that. I am not religious.
That's okay. The thing is, I'm not Catholic at all.
Anyways, cat-like.
Yes.
Enunciation, ladies and gentlemen.
The Catholic Pope.
Catlick.
Anywho, he also, what is it? He also picked a pack of pickled peppers. Yeah, he did. Oh, thank you, Viv, for the Dr. Peppers. All right. I think it's high time we move to our last 10 questions because I am, yes,
boy.
Catlick, Mikey. Wait, hold on.
We are getting to yap. I am yap central, so
that's okay.
I knew that was probably gonna come. I knew it was probably coming, but you know.
Thank you, Rubik's. I'm happy you're enjoying the Dr. Peppers. That's what they're there for. All right. With that in mind, it's time for us to move.
You again.
Who was that?
Nothing.
I see. It's time for us to move to our last 10 questions. So, for those that don't know, or this is your first time here, I like to ask these 10 questions at the end of every episode. There are no right or wrong answers. They're simply answers for us to see what our guest's reaction is. These 10 questions were written by writer, actor, director James Lipton that he would often ask his guests on a show inside the actor's studio. Again, there's no right or wrong answers. We just want to see what our guest responds with. If you've never played this before, if you've never commented, I highly encourage you to stop throwing things at me and answer the questions and play the game. Don't you say beautiful. There's a reason I turned the volume down on that so I could focus on the guest in the stream. I know some of you have that stockpiled.
It turns out the guest is also a chronic yapper.
Exactly.
We're
Dang,
already 14 minutes over.
I have 240,000 points. Hell yeah. Oh, those are fembucks, by the way. That's a separate currency.
I have 1.7k right now, so.
Oh, there you go. But how many fembucks? Dang, Vega, you lost it all. See, that's what you get. That's what it's and what's even funnier, that's a 75% chance of winning. That means your luck just was not good. Throwing things at me will not bring back your fembucks. Meanwhile, Viv got all the fembucks. That's hilarious. All right,
we should...
Nico, are you ready?
Again.
Oh no, it's fine. Nico, are you ready for our first question? And I lowered that volume too on on this specific thing. So thank you for that. I came prepared when it comes to this episode of just of the VOD in general. So, our very first question. Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite word? And I will remind you guys in chat, if you want to gamble, do stuff like that, there is a 1-minute cooldown or so for the command. Sorry. Continue. What is your favorite word? What is your favorite word?
Love me good old hearty meow.
A hearty meow. That's your favorite word?
Yeah. I am being dead serious when I say this. Part of my household communication is aggressively meowing at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I enter the house, I just go, meow. And depending on who responds, I know who's home.
There you go. Well, let's see. There we go. There you go, Natter. Have fun with that. I can set points.
Boy.
I can give and take away points. Fun fact. So, isn't that so much fun? To be fair, I love the sound of cats, so... but then I love the sound of all animals. And Viv lost everything. What sound or noise what is your least favorite word?
I would put it as, I know I've technically answered all of these before because I was here during, the teacher guy stream. I forgot his name already.
Mr. Aegis.
Good job, me. Yeah, Mr. Aegis. Badger lad. I would probably say anything that's, like, annoying on the eyes, but specifically either supercalifragilisticexpialidocious or the ungodly long word for the fear of long words.
Sorry, Vega, you don't have access to that. Only I've set that command to be specific to broadcaster level, so only I can use it. Long words.
Yeah,
I like long words, but only when the long words make sense.
I can't read a lot of very long words because my brain gets halfway through and just goes, I
think the average person gets the same way. It's just, Viv, guys, start smaller. Natter.
Stop gambling everything. I'm bad luck.
Oh my word.
I have had so many times where I've been in streams and I've actually it's legit crashed right after I joined. I think I've done that to Ryan Theo a few times. The poor guy's streams have always crashed. Like, oh, sorry.
It happens.
Did not intend to do that.
It's okay.
And then it crashed.
What inspires you creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? Pontification is a fun word, yes. Sorry.
Gambling in the name of Nikko Mirai EXE. Emotionally and spiritually, I can't really speak much. That's stuff I don't think about, but creatively, I feel like the best things I could say are, of course, our lovely Iron Mouse. She is delightful. I haven't watched many of her streams before, but her being able to battle disability like that is something I very much like and hopefully aspire to as someone who may or may not be disabled. That is withstanding, because we do not know what the hell is going on. Thanks, body. Stop having meltdowns, will you? But also, a channel named Ben Again I really like watching. Wendigoon is one I very much like, and for art...
So what I meant is what inspires you creatively, spiritually, emotionally is what kind of stuff, just not people, but like what kind of stuff inspires you? Because like so like for me, something that inspires me is just the idea of getting things done, of accomplishing things, and just being done with things. And that inspires me to do better because I know that once I finish something, I feel the satisfaction that comes with the hard work of doing it.
I do pretty similar. I'm someone who is very inspired by just getting stuff done. I like being able to say, hey, I did a thing, look at the thing I did. Do you like the thing? I'm someone who very much likes doing that. Another big reason why I'm making all of my own assets. It'd both be very neat and also mildly funny and very like, hey, I did all this myself. I made all my assets. Starting ending music excluded. That's one of the main things that drives me is I was able to do this thing myself.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Risuki. I appreciate that for throwing the just one. I'm sorry. Continue before I so rudely interrupted.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
I will say I am mostly inspired by people. Like. I don't really notice that kind of stuff with me because I'm someone who, I'm pretty sure it's a symptom of having the autism to begin with, but I'm someone who isn't, like, the best with recognizing stuff in myself. Like, it is a blatant miracle sometimes when I realize I am way too low energy to dealing with, say, the school hallways. I hate the school hallways. That kind of stuff is rare for me, so it's always people who I look up to and, like, get a lot of my creative drive from, because, oh, hey, they're doing neat shit. I want to do neat shit. Let me do the neat shit, you know?
It's one of those things where, things just happen. Things have a very interesting way of working itself out, you know?
Yeah.
So, what ruins that inspiration? What ruins your inspiration? Like, say, if you're wanting to do art, what ruins that inspiration?
I mean, other than the generalized people being jerks, like, in general, like, the best example of that I have is back when I was only an art account, and still used a very different username, one of my Instagram Reels had gotten very popular. Like, unnecessarily so. We got the 300 likes when I averaged, like, 10 to 15 usually. And I had started getting some hate comments on that video. It didn't really kill me too much, but it still wasn't great, especially because that was, like, when I was pretty early into art.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't very good then. I used to be an Undertale fan artist, and then I went into OCs, and then I tried to transfer the human, and that was one of my first attempts at drawing my old characters as a human, and I will say, it did suck, objectively, but that was just uncalled for, man.
Yeah.
So general negativity kind of kills the art vibe, although I say that like I don't casually listen to people who cover, like, drama just out of curiosity of what's happening.
Hey, there you go, guys. If you want more fembucks, there's a raffle going on. You gotta hit ! join to get to see if you can get into that raffle. I mean, I'm gonna do that. Anyway. What is, and we'll keep this brief. What is your favorite curse word?
Lots of choices, I like me a good, hearty fuck! You know?
Maybe shouldn't phrase it that way.
Bonk! Bonk!
Good to know. Moving on.
I have such poor phrasing. Listen. Take a bonk, God.
Moving on.
This is gonna be chaos.
What sound or noise do you love?
Other than the classic meow. Honestly, a lot of stuff relating to food. I love it. But a lot of food related is like cooking, especially, other than like loud clanks of stuff that will be talked about in the next question more. I just really like a lot of cooking noises, and of course I love me some music.
Music is good.
Recently I've been listening to a lot of Eurovision stuff, and the winner from this year's Eurovision, because I follow it a lot, dare I say, the winner from this year's Eurovision, who was Austria's representative, JJ, has some insane opera vocals, and I was like, God damn, dude. Like, wow. Still happy they won. Was that or Israel? Israel song. Okay, getting off track again. Back on the point.
Okay, what, excuse me. What sound or noise do you hate?
The number one is clapping. I cannot tolerate clapping, especially if it's like auditorium spaces, because it echoes and it condenses, and it is so annoying. It grates on my ears. That just comes with my noise sensitivity. Generally, anything very loud will usually be something I don't like. So even
Bro,
very
what you
loud
mean? What about
music
booty
I
clap?
like. I think that would still count.
Okay.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Generally, anything that's super loud or like actively repetitive, that will trigger the noise sensitive part of my ASD, because that's one of the few super strong traits I have, noise sensitivity.
Yeah.
Nice, because I can register footsteps easy, but it's bad because if I dare be in an auditorium with people clapping, I have a 50-50 chance of going into a meltdown. Without headphones. These headphones are glued to my head.
Noise canceling headphones are pretty nice. And if you ever need to, that goes for chat. If you guys ever want to know good headphones to get, let me know, and I will give you several recommendations for good headphones.
I recently had to get some new ones because my last pair it's been broken for a while, but I kept taping it, but I couldn't tape it up anymore.
Yo, Mikey and Rubik. Sorry. Anything to make it so Vega doesn't get anything is kind of funny.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. What profession other than your own would you like to do?
I am currently technically not in a profession, but the main three that I would probably end up going down, because I've thought about it before, is either tattoo artist, because flexible schedules, artistically creative, and generally not too heavy on people, or you at least get to know the people a lot better. Obviously streamer or voice actor, I'm kind of clumping those two together because online, more or less. And I like them again for time flexibility, generally creative projects, and I have, if you have not noticed through general vibe of me talking recently, I have a very flexible voice by default.
Sure.
I pitch all the way up and I pitch all the way down a lot. That's just how my voice works.
Yeah.
I am a emotionally expressive vocalist. Part of why I do VTubing.
Yeah, and if you're wanting to get into voice acting, that's why I always tell people, learn how to act first. Learning how to act first is the most important step in voice acting, because it's wonderful if you can do a voice, like do an impression or a voice. That just won't get you any work.
Yeah, I'm a natural actor of that kind of stuff. The funny thing is, I actually would have done theater if it wasn't for the fact that, one, my body is in a constant state of meltdown. Thanks for that, body. I don't know what I'm doing. Happening there. But, I also just don't like being stared at, so voice acting is generally something that when I figured out that it's a decent profession I could actually go into, I was like, oh, that sounds good. That is good.
Yeah. Well, if you continue to work at it, and especially work on the acting, anybody can. It's just that acting is a very difficult thing to learn. Even those who think they might have a natural aptitude for acting, there's still a bunch of layers of just learning that it takes quite a little bit of time. And so hopefully if you're within your education that you're hoping to do, you can learn those finer points, and if you do, that sets you apart way more than most people. So is learning the finer and fundamental points of traditional stage acting.
One of the things too is that I'm gonna guess this is also another thing that came about from the ASD. I'm someone who is like very natural to like tone repetition, like vocal emotional tone, which is probably one of the best things I'm actually best at. It's honestly kind of strange the fact that I'm able to do it so well, I think, because I don't really talk about it too much generally, because it does seem like a little bit of a strange thing. But in my attempts to be a social-ish human being in real life where people are annoying and body language and blech, I actually have gotten super good with vocal tone. Like, you could probably take a guess of what someone feels about me just from talking with them for a bit. Although that also does come with natural language stuff and how much they seem, how much I'm looking at them and they're looking at me, and autism, yay.
What profession would you not like to do?
Anything to do with retail, or like food. Like, if I'm working in a retail store, that is a absolute, like, perfect mix for me to get overstimulated. Lots of people, too much to keep track of, lots of noises, considering I don't have headphone as an option, which I will not. Just a lot of stuff anything that super relates to, like, constant, real-life human interaction.
Yeah, a lot of people...
Or children. Anything to do with children. God, I can barely tolerate the people at my school. Do you think I will tolerate kids?
Yo, good job, Natter. Sorry.
Hey, Netter getting money. Give me some.
Sorry, it's just fun watching Vega crash out because it's not getting any points. It's honestly the funniest thing.
Seeing people crash out is unrun.
Oh, it really is. It's time for the final question, and I suppose for you, I'll intentionally word this in a different way. If there happens to be an afterlife, what would you like to hear that some higher being that is greater than all of us, what would you like them to say when you arrive in said afterlife, if there was one?
I would love me a good, what the hell was your life, man? If I have a deity of some form about
that
what
is
was
all
going
knowing
on in
and
my
all
life.
powerful. So that it's all knowing and all powerful. So they know what you've done. They know what your life is.
They're just so genuinely bambazzled of how a can have such a anarchic mayhem life that they're just like, what the hell? What even is this lifetime, man?
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
Well,
I think that'd be funny.
and I think having that funny confusion from something that's much bigger than yourself would be kind of funny. Because at that point, you're dead and you're just like, comedy might be the best thing for that.
If I can still joke around while I'm dead, that's the goal.
Natter, try and keep your points. All I'm saying, guys,
Natter
you
will
do get...
probably not.
All I'm going to say, guys, if you want to support me, the work that I do, and, you know, just all this kind of stuff, all I'm going to say is if you subscribe, you do get double the fembucks, and you also get more channel points. I'm just saying, and you get emotes, and you get a role in my server. So, I'm just saying...
You dared to mention channel points, and me and another person went, yeah, let's assault ya.
You know, it's okay. It is what it is. Well, we are at the end of
30 minutes over the time.
which is fine. Let's see. Don't waste this, Vivian. But with that in mind,
It will immediately be wasted.
Vega, you keep losing. I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe you shouldn't gamble. Maybe you just shouldn't.
Don't gamble, kids. It's not fun.
Also, you have a 50-50 shot of whether or not you're getting money. You're getting fembucks. So, don't blame me. Blame luck. Okay? That's all I gotta say. Anywho, it's time for us to get going. Why another raid? We're about to raid out!
Yeah, more people to witness my great self.
I'm going to cry. Jubilee! I was gonna pop into your stream and say hi because I wanted to say hi to you and Cryptid. Oh, goodness, I'm going. Jubilee, everybody go say hi to Jubilee. Jubilee is a wonderful person, a wonderful voice actor or voice actress. Not to mention, she recently, I don't know the full story. All I saw was a picture on Twitter that was like, guess what? I got this. And it was like a picture of roller skates, and then there were the next, I saw that, and right above it was a quote retweet that said, so yeah, and there's an arm in a sling. So, yeah.
I thought that, honestly. That's me, core. Yeah,
so,
right.
I didn't see, look what I got, and then there was time passed. I saw a story in 2 acts. I saw, hey guys, look what I got, followed by next picture, and it's them with their arm in a sling. So... I hope you're doing well, Jubilee. Jubilee is wonderful. Please go follow her. She's amazing, does a lot of great work, you know, works very hard with a lot of the roles she gets for anime. So, you know, go follow her. Also, if you need to raid and run, feel free to do that, but we're going to be raiding out, like, shortly. You're okay? Okay, if you're still in your server, I'm going to throw myself in there right after stream, because I need to know the details of that. But yeah, if you need to raid and run, feel free to do that, or please feel free to join us as we're going to raid the next person.
Some water.
Yeah, we're going to raid somebody shortly. So, is there any, like, in one sentence, that way we can keep it short, is there anything you'd like to say before we raid out?
Everyone go get some damn water and a snack, please.
About yourself, you kind person.
You can find me on most social medias if you want to. If I cared enough to change it, you'll find me either under Nikko Mirai EXE or .exe, depending on if that allows, depending if that social media allows periods or not. Or you can probably just find me under Nikko Mirai on some places.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it's time for me to ask. It's nice. It's oh my gosh. It is time for us to ask my last and, in my opinion, our second most important question, and that is, who shall we raid that we haven't raided before?
Oh shit. I'd recommend any one of my friends, but the bad news, all of them are offline.
That is a bit of a spicy meatball, because if you truly can't find anybody, I could raid somebody who we haven't raided from the VOD before.
Alright, hold on. Give me 1 minute to go through my blue sky list.
But while you do that, because I have plenty of people who are online right now, but with that in mind, I will address the wonderful peeps here. Guys, this has been so much fun, and I'm so happy. Oh, Jubilee! How dare you! I hope that you guys have had a fun time watching this as much as I had a fun time. You lost all of your fembooks, Vega. That's all on you. I'm not giving you more. I hope you guys have had a wonderful time. I've had a great time with this episode. It's been so much fun. And I thank you so much for joining me, and especially our wonderful guest today. If you want to support me in the work I do, consider subscribing. But most importantly, why don't you consider following me on my socials? They're right there. Consider following me on YouTube, because if we hit 1,000 people on YouTube, we're currently at like 920. If we hit it 1K on YouTube, I will finally play Marvel Rivals on stream. If you're not a part of my Discord, consider joining my Discord. There's a lot of cool people, a lot of fun things to do there. You can talk with me, Nico, or any of our previous guests that are still in my server, and have fun with that. Or if you want, check out my throne, because people like to suggest things. For instance, somebody suggested 2 pairs of thigh highs and fishnets. So, the fishnets and one of the thigh highs was bought, and it's on my way to my house. It should be arriving this Sunday. So, yeah, they're glow-in-the-dark fishnets. So, when the Patreon is up, mayhaps you'll see some pictures of that. Who knows? It's all the proceeds, most of the proceeds go to my artists for future VO shows. So, I'm just saying, you have nothing to lose, and everything to gain. So with that in mind, let me get that. The first one's for our subscribers, and the second one's for our followers. So, I shall return back to our guest. What person shall we be rating? Unless you couldn't find anyone.
The issue is, for the people I know are online, the issue is I'm not any of them. So I might just, you know what, Google, give me a roll 1 through 4.
Are you?
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I just need to roll.
Man, look at it. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, if you do exclamation point D4, it should roll a if Brad Bear. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought you were following before. Is that the Bradbury 13? Our wonderful favorite person? If I remember that username, which I think I do. Mr.
That dice has picked.
Mr. I bonded so much over learning. What is it? Okay, cool. Yeah, hell yeah. Sorry. they are a really cool person, and because we had a wonderful conversation about getting into Gurren Lagann and Gundam and freaking Trigun. Freaking awesome. I wish I talked with them more.
I love Wolfwood so much. Wolfwood, my beloved.
Ah, yes, the Nicholas D. Wolfwood. So, would you like me to pick someone?
Yeah, thou dice have picked someone, so I'm currently the chat.
What was that?
The dice has picked someone of the 4 people I follow online, so I just selected who the dice picked. I also quickly made sure to make sure that she isn't intended for mature audiences. And
they're playing Wizard 101?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you young kids these days.
Listen.
You young kids these days.
I'm just a baby.
Yeah, I can tell. Don't even know what Wizard 101 is. Kids these days, am I right? Anywho. No, it's fine. It's just Wizard 101 is just it's a funny thing to see. So don't worry, there is no judgment at all. I'm just hamming it up. Anyway, guys, with that in mind, it's time for us to
calling me short.
It's time for us to raid out. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been so much fun, and just having all you guys here. Again, please follow the people who raided in. That's Genevieve Yoso, that's Jubilee Baking, and most importantly, please consider following and supporting our wonderful guest, Nikko, today. I'll just make sure to hit that one more time if it'll let me.
I will get you
nope,
after
that's
stream.
on timeout, so it's kind of the best I can do right now. So with that, consider following, and with that, hopefully we'll stream next week. I believe we should, at least for the VOD. I want to stream on Monday. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And like I said, consider joining my Discord server. That way you can chat with me. I'm going to be in my server after this once I'm done talking with Jubilee and figure out what the... Cursed! Alright. Okay, friend. I'll hit that last one, and then... because that's already going. There's that. I'm following now. Why are people rating? Because people are great. So, you guys have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you next week. Okay, I'm sorry, Cursed. Thank you for rating, Cursed. I appreciate that.
You could not have picked a actually worse time.
They picked the best time. Anywho, you will get points later, Vega. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye!